Okay, time for another installment of Great Chefs of New Orleans. Um, this next recipe was eggs St. Charles. It was from Brennan's. Um, and the chef behind it was Chef Michael Roussel. Um, when I moved to New Orleans in the late 90s, Brennan's was known for their $35 egg, is what they called it. That was the nickname for breakfast at Brennan's. Um, Chef Roussel was the one who was responsible for that at the time. He was their chef for about 30 years. Um, he was born, I think, in 1938, late 1930s, and was the chef at Brennan's till he retired in 2005, shortly before Katrina. He died that year also before Katrina, and that's the end of his story. He basically spent his entire career with the Brennan family. He actually, I'm going to go and read what they actually have in the cookbook. So this was actually from the second Great Chefs of New Orleans cookbook. So most of the stuff that I've cooked has been from the first one. This is from the second one. But it basically says this: breakfast at Brennan's is a daily love affair with our customers, and we serve dinner too. Beam's chef Michael Roussel, as he talks of his 28-year apprenticeship with the Brennan family. Now, again, this was in the 1980s. So he actually spent, as I said, almost his entire career with Brennan's. Brennan's in its years in the French Quarter is famed as much for family and friends as for food and service. After the last breakfast was served at the Old Brennan's on Bourbon, in 1956, a swinging jazz band had a procession carrying chairs, silverware, linens, and dishes to the new restaurant on Royal Street, which is where it still is, as far as I know, to the beat of When the Saints Go Marching In. Lunch commenced with favorite patrons drifting in the door toward the bar at noon for their eye-openers of absinthe Suissesse and Sazerac cocktails. The larger-than-life legend of the Brennan's Southern hospitality is alive today, and Michael is the warm custodian of the big kitchen. He was born in New Orleans, and his fond recollection of his family's lunches sparked a fascination with food and its preparation. In the old days, he says, Sunday was the only day we all sat down together. The big table was filled with platters of roast and stewed chickens, potatoes and yams, biscuits and greens, and lemon and apple pies. We ate simple country food, but it was always delicious. Married to Miss Josephine Julibar in 1961, Michael was drafted into the Army and was assigned to work with the former chef at the Antlers Hotel in Colorado Springs. He went to the Cook and Baker School at Fort Lee, Virginia, graduating with honors, and was promoted to head of mess at Fort Carson in Colorado. After an honorable discharge from the Army, Michael, the former assistant waiter at Brennan's, returned as first apprentice to Chef Paul Blanche, the famed chef who had created the original distinctive menu with the Owen Brennan Sr. Over the next 8 years, having worked and learned from Chef Paul, Michael accepted the invitation of Ella, Dick, John, and Dottie Brennan to become chef at Commander's Palace. He stayed for 5 years. Then his homing pigeon instincts took him back to Brennan's and its owners, owner Junior, Theodore, and James. Since Brennan's can serve 1,000 breakfasts and 400 dinners in one day, the operating logistics of orders, kitchen preparation, and serving could be a nightmare. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in here that basically has anything about his. Well, it just does more about basically the food. But it says we have a distinctive team. The maitre d', captains, waiters, and cooks function as a well-oiled clock. Each guest who walks through the door is treated as an honored friend. It is the tradition of the Brennan family that people feel at home in the restaurant. Chef Michael Roussel is securely in control of his kitchen, and he blithely goes off to supervise the making of 16 gallons of hollandaise sauce to be served at an average Sunday breakfast at Brennan's. Yeah, hollandaise sauce. So yeah, the eggs St. Charles is basically poached eggs over trout, or basically any fish, obviously covered with hollandaise sauce. The hollandaise sauce is actually pretty easy to make, turns out. The poaching the fish is also actually pretty easy to do. And really, this was a very easy recipe to make. I chose to use, since I already had it, some cod instead of trout. It's hard to get speckled trout, anyways, and the cod I have is already battered, so I didn't have to, fry any fish. I kind of cheated a little bit there, but it worked out great. I loved it. So, anyways, yeah, in all the years that I lived in New Orleans, I never ate breakfast at Brennan's. I've had dinner there a few times, but never been there for breakfast. So, oh well. Anyways, as I said, Michael Roussel and eggs St. Charles. It was good, and I'll see you in a few weeks. All right, bye-bye. And there we have Michael Roussel's eggs St. Charles. Yay.